Welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. I am Martelle, and today we go to TrueFit Athletics, CrossFit TFA in Lancaster, Ohio. Randy and I went down there a couple weeks ago to record with Coach Jimmy Barnes, co-owner and head coach, or one of the head coaches at CrossFit TFA. And we had discussed smoking ban in Hawaii, smoking in general, girls in the BSA, and some other discussions. This is like the third session of that three-part series, that 3-hour-long conversation we had. I hope you like it. Join in on the conversation. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you don't like about the show. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook. Leave a like. Leave a review. Do something, but just engage, interact with us, tell us how we're doing, and enjoy the show. Thanks. You mentioned my post about going to Japan.
What do you want?
So Blanton's.
Right.
Blanton's.
Okay, wait.
My bottle. Blanton's from Kentucky.
Some from Nika.
No. From Nike.
Nika?
Let me. Because I pronounced it the one episode.
Coming from Martell, he corrected you.
Yes.
On bourbon. That's the one thing he can get me on.
So, and I pronounced it wrong on the one episode that we had it because I called it Nika.
You called it Nika? I was like, Nika? Like, I'm not sure we can say that.
We edit that out.
You just offended Jimmy.
It's Nika.
Come on. You can't say
Nika
Jimmy,
Coffee Green.
Nika.
It's Nika.
Kofi, not coffee.
Coffee.
Spelled coffee.
Coffey.
Oh.
That's where they get you.
Why?
The wild kids.
Why? Yeah.
Help me on the
But I was purposely pronouncing it wrong on the one episode, calling it Nika. So it's Nika. It's Nika.
Right, there you go. I was going to say, you said Nika, please. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to have a problem with that. Nobody said a thing.
And no one said
Which
a
tells
word.
me a couple things.
No one's listening.
One, we don't have a huge listener base, and two, they're all white dudes.
Yeah, right. No one cares. DJ didn't even. He was like, motherfuckers.
Yeah, but when you look at DJ, he's the whitest of us all.
I know.
Sure, his dad's black. Okay, so you have a big son.
Yep.
Your son has a beautiful skin. You have a gorgeous baby.
It's
Yeah,
mocha.
Our buddy DJ,
Appreciate
that is
It's
half black,
mocha.
is pasty white.
Oh, dude.
Really?
His
Oh,
dad,
my God.
Dude, he's got a picture of his dad with an afro, and him, he's like as white as this table. It's the funniest
He
thing.
is whiter than this table.
He
is
opaque.
fucking transparent.
That's hilarious.
see
Number
organs.
4.
Four shots. They're ahead of us now.
So-
Except for Jimmy.
So, yeah, DJ is transparent.
But
he,
anyway.
like, he is looking at a glass
hilarious.
bottle. I love you, DJ, but you were looking at a glass bottle.
With a white backing.
It is. Yeah,
Glass
you
bottle
got to
with
put
white
some
backing.
you got to put some
The inside
paper
of the
behind him.
label.
Some
Yeah.
some
Tim
lined
Smith's on the
paper.
inside of this label.
So the Japan Post.
Yeah,
It was
Blanton's.
so Blanton's makes a special Blanton's Black.
What?
It is a Japan.
Is it called Blanton's Nika?
No, it's called Japan Black. It is,
Japan Black.
or
I'm
I'm sorry, Blanton's Black. It is a Japan only purchase. You can't get it anyplace else. So they have Blanton's has
So is that where it's made?
no.
So it's still made in Kentucky.
It's still made in Kentucky, and then it's shipped to Japan.
Why would they not sell it here?
Because
so weird.
so Blanton's does this weird thing, and my
Blanton's
goal
does a lot of
is
weird things.
my goal is to get every version of Blanton's.
Like, did you know they have different toppers? They all have cork toppers with little horses on them.
They're all different.
They're all different, and it spells out. If you get them all, it spells out Blanton's. They have a little letter by each horse leg.
Oh, yeah.
and if you line them up, it shows
It shows
a racehorse
Blanton's.
racing.
And there's
Like
two
going out of
ends.
motion.
There's two ends in Blanton's. So there's two horse shapes for ends. So you got to make sure you get both ends.
It's great.
You can't have the same end. You have to get two different ends.
Yeah, well, yeah, 'cause then
my
your
mind
horse-
literally just blew.
Yeah.
Did
Right.
you guys see it?
There's a so
gone.
there's Blanton's red. There's Blanton's gold.
I didn't know all
There's
this.
Blanton's blend.
There's black.
There's black. There's Blanton's rye.
I've heard of the rye.
There's green label.
Why? What?
So I'm trying. My goal is to get all of these different Blantons.
I got a bottle of Blanton's. For a while, a couple years ago, I only
You
had
only
one.
got the one from Kroger.
I got one- no. It was from
Is that Kroger?
Hooches.
Well,
I got it
either
from
way,
Hooches
you
in
got the
Chillicothe.
one
I
that
got
you-
that one. I had to be on a list for it. And I
That's
would only
just the
drink
standard-
one single at a time on the rocks.
That's just the
For
regular old
special
Blanton's.
occasions. Yeah.
Is it
but that's-
expensive?
Yeah, well, it costs
It's
me...
it's like $52.
No, I think
Oh,
I paid
right on.
60.
All right, well, 60. Well, we'll
Yeah.
just call it $60.
Yeah, it's about 60. I mean, some places they try and charge more, but 60, 75 is the highest I've seen it.
It's Ohio.
Well,
It's
60.
Ohio. It's
Yeah, I know.
regulated. It's
I had a
60.
good-
We'll just call it
good
60
whiskey
bucks.
from Tennessee is about $60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good ones in Tennessee.
So-
It lasted me for a while too.
So
Gentleman
Blanton's is
Yeah, Jack Daniels.
they have
They
red.
have Gentleman Jack, though. That is a higher end Jack Daniels.
There, yeah,
It's about
there's
$54 a bottle. Yeah.
Well,
And
they
actually,
have an
it's
even
good.
higher version of that.
Of the Gentleman Jack?
Yeah, it's like $100 and some a bottle.
Ooh, I haven't had that.
Yeah, I don't want it because it's Jack Daniels. Yuck.
Yeah, but have you had the Gentleman Jack, though?
Yes, I have. I'm not a fan.
Racist.
Okay.
Anyway, get back to your black
so
Blanton,
so Blanton's has red, green, gold.
the rainbow.
black.
They got them all. They're like, it's like Power Rangers.
So I'm trying to find someone going to Japan to get black.
You got the,
There
you got the
is-
Black Ranger, the Red
Yeah.
Ranger, the Yellow Ranger.
I have a connection in Europe for the rye, for the green,
Okay.
or whatever they want to call it. There's a,
So
a
these
European.
different colors are only sold in certain countries.
So certain
or-
countries, but you can find red and gold sporadically
In
throughout the
Arkansas.
U.S. Like it's just like in Massachusetts, that someone may stumble across a red or a gold. So you just need to know
they
somebody.
make like 4 bottles a year, and a rep just drives somewhere into some podunk town, just puts it on his shelf.
that guy just like
Good luck
It's got to
finding
be
it.
bottom shelf.
Right.
Put it right there.
put it right there.
Stick it by the benchmark.
So I'm on the lookout because my goal is to own all the bottles and just leave them unopened, sitting on top of the liquor cabinet, just
My
to
goal-
tease the shit out of people.
My goal is to, when
But
you're not
could
looking,
you
open
do
all
that?
those bottles.
I will beat you with
My
a
thing is,
bat.
I don't think Martell could last.
He'd open them eventually. He'd last a while. He has
I
some
have-
that he keeps, but eventually,
Yeah.
Lord willing, he lives to be an old man, he'd open them.
at some
yeah.
point I would. Yes, absolutely.
He has some that he's had closed for a while, and he always goes, "We should try this." I'm like, "Nah."
My thing
got
is,
4
if
boxes
a bottle
I've-
of whiskey costs $100, I'm gonna try it.
Right.
But that's my
if
limit.
It costs $4,500.
I'm gonna try
I'm
it.
Try
If it's
it.
$4,500, I'm not going to be able to own it, so it's irrelevant.
So going out to a store, my limit is $100. Like that
That
is
must
the
be
limit
nice.
I've
That's a
set.
good limit.
My limit's
My
9.
limit at the grocery store is $100.
Well, it's like my buddy Ed.
my limit for a week's worth of groceries is $100.
My buddy Ed sends me a text. He's down in Simpsonville, South Carolina. That's where the one
Simpsons are.
the Simpsonville. That's where the one Powerball was won just
Oh,
recently.
really?
The $1 billion one.
Like
Yeah,
multi-billion
the
one?
multi-billion-dollar one. So
Okay, if I had billions,
Is that the
I
guy
might.
that wore? No, there's a guy in Jamaica that won the lottery.
Where
And he
the-
wore a screen mask,
screen
and
mask and a
gloves,
robe.
and entire.
So his family went. He waited
So his family
54 days
wouldn't-
to claim it, and then went in a Halloween costume, so his family
his
wouldn't
family
know.
wouldn't know who it was.
And I was
That
sitting
is
there going,
some shit
on
that I
the
would do.
check.
Relatable.
It has his first initial and his last name.
I would do first name, last initial.
But do we know that's really his real name?
Could he cash the check though?
You know
It's
what?
a
I
fake
would.
check. It's a Bob Barker
You're
check.
right. It's a giant check.
You can put Santa Claus on it. It's like you're walking in. You're not Happy Gilmore driving around with 9 of those in the back of your
right.
I would go in-
1942 Chevy or something.
I would
Happy
go in and try
Gilmore's
to
not
claim
reality?
it as whatever the
Well.
state name is in the city. So it would be like I'd just go
like
in
in
and claim it.
Zombieland, you just be Columbus, Ohio.
I would just go in and be like, Carroll, Ohio,
If I won,
with a mask on.
I'd pick my skinniest, smallest friend and use their name. Have me in a costume, like a gorilla
So-
costume.
James Barnes.
James Barnes. They're like, do you remember JJ? I put JJ's name on it. He's like half
JJ.
my height.
Yeah,
What has JJ been up to?
JJ's in Florida now.
Living in
All right,
Florida.
clean it up.
He's,
Yeah,
selling
a pastor
real-
down there.
What?
He's flipping
Real estate?
houses, and he's still got contacts in the insurance
He
agency.
sold-
He's married
I
with a
was gonna say,
kid.
he
Yeah.
sold me insurance a long time ago.
We
when
call
I was
him
paying for it.
Vanilla
I didn't know
Ice.
what it's for.
his name is
We
Rip-
still have it. It's good insurance.
His name is
it's
Rob
life
Van
insurance.
Winkle.
Yeah,
That's
life
Rob
insurance.
Van Winkle. He's flipping houses, especially since you have a kid now. What he
Yeah.
told you is a good policy.
We have like 3 different life insurance policies because my wife is
Shoot,
crazy.
your kid's going to turn 18 to shank you.
I know.
I might do it if he gives me a cut.
Why? Because he's half black.
Oh wow, racist.
Wow, dude.
You can't go there with Jamuel here.
Jamule.
We did with DJ.
Yeah, but DJ's really white. He's not married to a black woman. He's really white. He has a black dad. That don't count.
We're gonna have to show Jimmy a picture of
I
DJ.
know.
Oh, I
see a
will.
picture
I've got
of
a
his
picture
dad.
of him as that. His
I feel
Facebook
like-
profile, I think, is him.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna pull up.
Katie, my wife, has often made the comment that she feels like Jameson's a white baby. because he's
light skinned, but
he's a light skin complex.
You can tell he's mixed.
So now I've got to see this guy.
Yeah, no. Jameson has got a very, very nice complex.
He does, and
skin complex.
He's beautiful.
He is
very cute.
He's the color of whiskey.
Pictures, he is.
And he's very well behaved. He is very well behaved in the gym. He reminds me of Harley when I had Harley
was
in
awesome
the gym. Harley is still awesome in the gym.
She's still awesome in the gym.
Harley's way more awesome at home. She just says the craziest thing, and it ticks Martelle off.
Wait a second.
His dad.
Hold on. I'm going to find you a family
his mom
photo.
Lied
now.
to him.
I guess that people didn't believe him. I don't. DJ will correct me if I'm wrong. May or may not have had to get. I don't know. It's legit. His biological father, though.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the picture. That's his dad.
His
biological,
right, so
biological
can I just,
father.
Is this going to sound bad? Does his dad just tan a lot?
No.
It looks like a really good spray on tan.
He took the Donald Trump approach. Just got hosed down for the picture. Oh, that's racist.
Damn.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
racist.
no.
Just because you're married to a black woman don't mean you say now we got a white guy that's married to a black woman talking about a white guy who's got a black dad. Can I see it again? Dude, the funniest thing is he came to buy a knife off me, right? That I made, a railroad spike knife.
We love you,
and I was
DJ.
up at my buddy's house that I'm learning from. And he said, I'm on my way. I'll be there in a couple hours. He lives up in Marion.
Oh, God.
So I said, cool. And I told my buddy Scott, I said, hey, you think it'll be okay having a black guy come to this part of town and me selling him a knife? And he was like, why would it be? And I was like, I just don't know. And then he walked in, and Scott looked at me like,
what are you,
he didn't say it, but his face was like, I thought you said he was black. Like, he's the pastiest white dude I know.
Where the hell is DJ's? DJ has a photo, and I can't find it now, of him at a family reunion.
With his pants off.
No. Well, that's the DJ's thing. So when I met DJ, he showed me that exact photo. Like, he kept it in his pocket. He's like...
Back before you had phones on.
Yeah, he's like... DJ's thing was like, I'm half black. I'm like, bullshit. And he pulled out that photo.
Nobody believed him. Why would you?
Why would you? He's like, I'm half black. I'm like, bullshit. And he pulls out that photo. I'm like... Nah, he's like, nah. He's like, that's my dad. He's like,
that's somebody from work or.
He's like, no. He's like, I'm black from here to here. And that was always his,
for those of you listening.
That was always his running joke. He's like
knee.
waist. He's like from hip to top of my thigh. And I was like, God damn it, you asshole. But we love you, DJ.
That is
yeah, he's been a guest on here several times.
That is mind blowing.
Very intelligent
he is.
guy.
God, he is so. He is smarter
he's
than
mainly white. I want to see how many people we can offend this episode.
Right.
Seems like when we make people angry, they react. So it's like the Howard Stern effect, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just tick people off. Hey, you're getting listeners.
Right.
You have people talking about you.
Do you guys want to try that Crown Royal special whiskey?
Martelle brought another one too, didn't you?
I did, but we don't have to try it. I just brought two. I just brought two.
Roll with it.
Well, yours is going to be way more.
Well,
I'll be right back. I'll go.
Yeah, you grab the Crown.
Quick.
We'll see what he's got. I mean, we're only taking sniffs of these. We're not drinking a lot of them. What's that one? That looks like the 1792 and the Four Roses bottle had a baby. It looks nice. Got a cork top. You notice this one has a cork top? The Tim Smith?
I did.
I was impressed. I thought the cork top would throw you off. Oh, I just hit myself in the face with the mic. Like, I thought that would... I was like, man, at least it got a cork top. But then when I tasted it, I was like, that's moonshine. Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's Crown.
It's in the box.
Blender's Mash.
Have you not opened it yet?
No, I have not.
I was going to say, if you've opened it and put it back in the box, I'm really impressed. I've never seen this. I've only seen the purple bag.
It's never been opened. It's called Blender's Mash, blended Canadian whiskey.
I shall return.
You got to go tinkle as you gallop away. Man, we need a camera.
We do.
So while Martelle is running across the gym to go wee-wee.
What did he give us, by the way?
I don't know. He didn't really tell me. I didn't see the label. I saw the back of the bottle. So I don't know. But this, now my wife and my mom play Rummy Cube. It's a game with little tiles. Mm-hmm. And they use a purple Crown Royal bag to hold all the tiles in.
Yeah.
But neither of them drink. Mom got it from somebody she used to work with because they used to play at work on lunch breaks. She worked for Nationwide. I've never seen Crown in this. This is like a light tan beige bag. I've seen the purple bag, which is the OG.
Right, the old school Crown.
And then the apple, I believe, was in a green
Is
bag.
it green?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing I'll say about the apple. Now, I'm not one for flavored whiskeys or bourbons. I've tried all the bird dogs, like the peach, this and that. If I'm going to go flavored, my favorites are Jim Beam Maple. A lot of people go with the Jack Honey or the Jim Beam Honey, which are both very good. But the Jim Beam Maple is awesome. And then Jim
I don't
Beam.
think I've ever had it.
Oh, it's very good. It's sweet. I mean, it's one you can drink. It's very smooth, and that maple just gives it. It's kind of like a candy.
It's kind of like you can just fill up a glass and
put it on the rocks, man. Just sip on it. Just sip on it for a few hours. Take it easy. The Crown. You look like the dude in Monty Python.
Oh, that's the goal.
Following
Should
with
have some
coconuts.
going.
Yeah, but the Crown Apple, it wasn't bad, but it's not. I don't like apple stuff. I've tried the Bird Dog Peach, the Bird Dog. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of them. I tried a lot of the Bird Dogs because they're cheap. And I thought if I'm going to try flavored, I'm going to at least try cheap ones. But yeah, so Martelle's back, so you can tell us about this, and then we'll get into the Crown.
Yeah.
So what do you pour? So I didn't even get to see the bottle.
Do we need to take a sip first?
Well, you can take a sip. You can take a sniff. Sip and sniff.
From what I can smell, it smells really smooth.
It is very smooth.
Because my nostrils are
Very,
still
very
clogged.
smooth.
It tastes smooth.
There was absolutely no burn.
Yeah.
It's kind of the stuff dreams are made of.
This reminds me very much of the Virgil Cane. I'm trying to remember which one.
So the after flavor, once it sits in the mouth for a little bit after you swallowed it, really pleasant.
Yeah.
Really
I
good.
think I enjoyed the whole experience.
This distillery
from what I
never
smelled.
disappoints.
See, now when you said earlier, the
I already
last
know where-
one we had that Randy poured for us, where you said it hits you hard
Yeah.
and then it soothes afterward, that's kind of how that affected me.
It is. It's just not as
It's not as pungent.
The thing with any moonshine, whether store bought or mountain bought, moonshine is meant just to kick you in the nuts.
Right, just a smack in the
Like
face.
I've never had I've had moonshine store bought that was 123 or 152 proof or something like that. It's something stupid. It was
I've had
ethanol.
straight up all the way to
And
190.
I've had straight from the hills moonshine that was
190?
brought up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, that's Everclear.
That's-
You're getting
I
up your
mean-
Everclear range. I've had Everclear.
I've had homemade, like
I've had homemade that was brought up from West Virginia in a solo cup with some saran wrap over the top of it. And let me
That's
tell you,
awesome.
when you drink it, there's only one reason you drink it.
To clean out your
One
insides.
is to get wasted, or two is to say, okay, I've
had it.
because I took a sip
Yeah.
of it and I went good.
I'm good,
And I never
yeah.
touched that cup again. That was back in high school.
Like,
Wow.
put that in my gas tank. I'll
Yeah.
just power my
It
car
is-
off.
I mean,
of
it
it
is
I'm
what
done.
it is. It's
Now,
not
what does
some-
it taste like? Can you
It's-
describe it?
rubbing
just a burn.
alcohol.
You know what?
Just
We'll
a straight
we'll do
burn.
another one, Jimmy, and I'll get some Blue Flame. Blue Flame is as close as you can get to from the hills that you can buy legally here in Ohio.
Yeah.
And nothing cuts it. I'm telling you now, if I paid the $20 or $22 for a jar of Blue Flame, it would last a long time because it's not something you just take out. You don't make hot toddies with it.
You're taking eyedroppers worth of it.
I
Now,
mean, it's rough.
my neighbor made some out of. He took like a couple kegs and made a distillery out of kegs,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and that's where I got my 190 from. And
That's dangerous getting it from a neighbor.
well, he went through like
It's
the whole
dangerous getting
thing.
it
It's
anywhere
dangerous
that's not
getting
in the
from
store.
anybody that's not in the
It's
store,
pretty
but
dangerous.
he went through and made sure like he cleared the whole top and
Right.
got everything, and he went out and bought the little, check the measurements. He's like, it measured out at 190. He's like, it's
You're supposed to cut it. Does he know that?
yeah, and he's like, it's here you go, and I took maybe 2 eyedroppers worth.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, when I first tried Everclear, I
Woof.
think I was 19 or 20, and I took a capful. We had a buddy that was in the Air Force, was one of my older cousin's friends, and they said, try this. And, me being an underage kid, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool like everybody else. He poured it in the top, literally took the cap off the bottle and poured it in that. I was like, what the? He's like, just sip that. And, dude,
Yeah.
burns the whole way down. This
so what,
is good. I
so
like this.
You like this? So what would you?
What would I rank this?
Yeah.
I'm giving this one 4 donuts.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a solid.
I was
4.
going to give this a 4.5.
4.5. Yeah.
Yeah. This is
So
solid.
I give this a 3.5. This is solid. It's good. It's good. This is Four Roses.
He is.
I
told you it looked like 4 Roses bottle, didn't I?
Four Roses.
The small batch.
4 Roses, small batch.
I knew it. Even seeing the back of it.
This is good stuff. I'm not disappointed. This you can get anywhere. This is just
I saw that
readily
at the
available.
shortstop in Circleville. That's top shelf in Circleville. That's about as high as it gets.
Yeah, this is readily available. It's like $30 bucks.
30. I was gonna say I think it's 35
Or
for the
35.
small
Yeah,
batch,
it's nothing crazy.
Because the 4 Roses standard's about 30.
Now, if you want to go top shelf, that's what we save for last.
I can't
Wait.
wait.
How many?
Now, here's the thing.
You said you gave that 3
whiskey
donuts?
should
3.5.
be warmed to a certain degree.
Here's my thing. I like
Room
mine,
temperature.
This
yeah.
this was sitting on top of a refrigerator.
So it's
which-
been baking.
It's a little warm.
Is it supposed to be bubbling? Like it's brought to a boil?
Why is it boiling? So
didn't know you could
when
do
we
that.
say top shelf, we really mean top shelf.
Top of the fridge.
Like
You had put the
Martell
water
just
in.
added an entire
Oh,
glass
you
of water.
clearing?
I got to clear my glass first for this one.
Gotcha.
Shall we all clear our glasses?
I mean, if you want, I have no preference.
You're more than
really
welcome to
care.
pour some water in there and
Pee in your
clear.
cup and drink it for all I care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 4 Roses is pretty good. I've never had the small
Yeah,
batch.
I like
I've had
that-
4 Roses.
I bought it at Christmas.
So I gotta say, this is pretty rare stuff, guys.
Yeah, I bought the
Crown
4
Royal.
Yeah.
We're doing
You can
Crown
only get it if you
Royal
go to the store.
blended
Or
blenders
come-
mash.
Or if you come here and just grab it off the top of the fridge. If you
I
come here and
honest-
get your free 7 days, you can also just grab the bottle of Crown Royal off the fridge.
Yeah,
and take
so
some.
usually on the weekends, like on a Friday night or a Saturday, we hang out and drink after we work out.
Well,
Occasionally.
now I want to join
Yeah.
again.
So we'll, on the Open's coming up.
There's a lot of drinking.
There's
No,
a- there-
okay. We're the health and fitness facility.
We are. Yes.
It's not a lot of drinking.
But the barbecues
not
are
like-
pretty fun.
But
Right. But we
in
do
the
have
summertime,
beer.
we
do
do
like
have-
to drink some stouts, some porters.
yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. When
You
guys
can't be
drink, you have a good time, but you guys
sticklers.
don't
Right.
get hammered all the time. You
We don't get hammered at all.
No, but that's
I've
what I'm
never
saying.
seen
You're
anybody
not getting-
stumbling out of
No,
here.
that's what I'm
not
saying.
drinking.
I can't.
Well,
say
hold
that.
on.
I'll put
I-
it to you this way: I've seen more pictures of people puking from workouts than I have from drinking.
Right.
That's true.
You would
I-
see people puking from workouts come here. No, but
I've seen Jimmy stumbling out of here, and
There
I've
was
seen
one
Katie a
time-
little upset.
There was one time that Everclear was brought into my presence, and I didn't know it.
also you weren't warned like I was.
No, so like, all right,
Apple pie.
Most people make apple pie, and they make it with just like regular, whatever, and it's not.
Now
like
you
80
can just
proof.
buy apple pie.
No.
Jars
This
on
is
the shelf.
homemade.
So
This is.
we have a
Mr. Pfeiffer.
friend down in Logan that can make the stuff, and I could drink an entire 2-liter of that stuff and not
Be
be
fine.
completely drunk.
But it's a lower proof.
Yeah,
than
right,
Everclear.
exactly. We had somebody come in with apple pie one day for a party who had made the apple pie with Everclear. I had no clue. So I was like, I'll just keep drinking these shots of apple pie.
Tastes good.
And I was like, man, it's so good. It's got that cinnamon flavor, Next thing I know, I'm blacked out drunk and arguing with my wife. And we're just we're going at it. And
Like in front of everybody
oh, yeah.
at the gym. Oh yeah.
Well, whoever was left
I wish I could have
because
had
this
you
was
on
towards the end
video
of the night.
With
But
your face just now because you're like, oh yeah.
yeah, and then
Yep.
I remember waking up at different points in the evening after being asleep, puking over the side of my bed. And now,
Okay. See, I've never gotten to there.
Anytime apple pie is brought to the gym, I'm not allowed to have it.
I
But
love.
in my defense,
That's good to
I had
know.
no idea it was made with Everclear.
Well, that's
that's a
in your
good defense.
Whoever brought it should have told you because
Yes.
if somebody brings Everclear to a party and does not inform people that it's
Right.
Everclear, that's bullcrap. Like I would hate that person forever.
Yeah.
But I'd give them a stern talk to that's not
So
cool.
not only
Like,
was
Look, we're
I
bros.
drinking the apple pie, but I had multiple
Beers and
before that.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
that's why
so
you're
beers
puking,
before
man.
liquor,
Beers
never
before
been sicker.
Everclear.
Right.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Like I said, I've had one cap full of Everclear in my life. That's enough.
Yeah. You know what I think?
If somebody's like, "Oh, you're not man enough," first off, I say, "Screw off! I don't care about your opinion of it."
I think I have some Everclear up in the pantry.
have you seen the
Ugh.
beard? You're obviously man enough.
right?
Yeah,
'Cause
a
I
pipe
have
showed
beard.
up. A pipe showed up.
It's ma'am. Somebody calls me sir, I want to do that looking like me.
That meme
It's
you posted the
ma'am.
other day.
Oh, dude, that was a
I
good one.
Fell
That
out
was a
for
good
like
one.
3 hours.
But yeah, Everclear. It's like the Blue Flame. My last experience with Blue Flame was a bad one. So you can get Old Smoky, Tennessee whiskey, right?
I have
You go
Fireball and Fire Water
down- Fireball's easy. I can
in
do
my
that all
pantry.
day.
And I
Fireball,
think I have Everclear in my pantry also.
Everclear's a different story. But the Blue Flame, it's 148 or 152 proof. Well, we were going to play poker, so my one buddy's like, hey, I'll host because it's warm out. We can sit on the patio. That way if somebody wants to smoke a cigar or your pipe, you can. He said, no, I've got these beers here. And he had some upper scale beers like Martelle likes, and he had some basic stuff. He said, I'll just fill up the cooler, bring it out to the porch. Mm-hmm. Everybody's welcome. If you want something else, you're free to bring it.
You guys going fishing?
So somebody said, so he said,
You want to touch wieners?
want to touch wieners? So I love when we tell jokes from past episodes
I
because
know.
somebody's going to start on this and be like, why are they talking about touching wieners?
Yeah, this would be the first episode
I
they
don't
hear.
want to go to that gym. TFA's membership's going to tank after this.
Yeah,
Dude, then we're like, what? Brandon's going to be like, what happened? So, no, but
TFA doesn't condone anything.
any touching of wieners. They are not sponsoring us.
Right.
Wait, you going to pay us for this?
But it is the best
thought
gym
I
in
was getting paid.
Lancaster.
Oh, I think it's mutual that we're both not getting paid. You're not paying for advertising. We're not paying you for being
We'll just
here.
agree that this is a free podcast.
Absolutely.
So my buddy's like, somebody else replied in the group text. There's like 8 or 9 of us that play poker on the regular, and somebody said, "Well, what's everybody bringing?" And the guy that's hosting replied back, "Quit doing it out of turn. Quit taking your drinks out of turn over there, huffing and puffing."
Oh, the facial
And let me-
expression was great.
The fellatio expression. Speaking of what happened at TFA,
The whiskey's kicking in.
this is the new Shrek class we were talking about. So he replied back, well, so and so is going to bring Jack Honey because that's what they always bring, and Randy's going to bring probably moonshine because he's a freaking redneck and all this. So I was like, screw it, which I didn't plan on bringing anything. I was just going to drink a beer or two and be happy.
Yeah.
I went and got Blue Flame. Well, my uncle picks me up. Hey, what'd you got? I said, Blue Flame. Pulled it out and he saw it. And when you pull it, it's a jar of moonshine, but it's blue. It's like, it looks like.
So it's actually blue.
Oh, it's blue, like a light blue.
Cool.
It's straight from the still.
like
uncut.
Columbia Gas Flame Blue.
Yeah, exactly. And he was just like, not touching that. I think he had like some summer shandy beer or something. Not touching. I was like, well,
Like
I
a
need-
Natter
I
Day?
need some a Natter Day.
What about the new
some
natural light?
lima readers? That's what you're talking about.
That's
the
what we're
Natter
talking
Days.
about.
Is that what it's called? Natter Day?
Natter Day.
Natter Day.
Yeah, the pink lemonade. We got to find some of that. That's gonna be so
We don't need to
awful.
find it. I know where to get
Oh,
it.
get it. Just get like a 6 or just so we can taste it.
It
Do they
doesn't come
make
in
sixers?
sixers.
I thought they only did 30s.
Okay, well, get 30 for $7. It's not like it's going to break the bank. So I get my Blue Flame, and I was like, I got to
Put
get
the brakes
something to- I'll soft pump the brakes. I said, I got to get something to cut this with. This is straight moonshine.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, well, we got to get up there. We got to go, blah, blah. I want to go get meatballs from Villanova first or whatever you're doing.
Fucking G wants meatballs.
Dude, the meatballs of Villanova, I do. I get them big old meaty balls all.
You want some meat in your mouth?
Giant Italian balls of meat right up.
So
for a
far,
buck
we've
each.
had meatballs, erect, and
Tummy sticks.
fellatio.
And so he stops at the smallest gas station in South Bloomfield on the way north. He doesn't stop at one of the two, not Speedway or the K, Super K or whatever, and get something legit. So I got a 2-liter of Orange Crush to mix with straight. I was like, I had nothing else that I thought would cut it. I tried Coke before, knew that didn't work.
You
So
should
we
got some
showed up.
RC Cola.
Wouldn't work. Would not work. Too fancy. So we get up there. We're playing cards.
Get
and
a
of course,
tab.
I pull it out. The tab cola. I pull it out.
Cola.
Nobody wants to touch this stuff. Like they smell it and they're gagging. Well, my one buddy is like, I'm not going to say names, but we'll just call him Justin because that's his
Just
name.
because that's his name.
And he goes, well, I'll try it. Go ahead and pour a little in there. And he just took a little sip and he's like, you kind of makes me like, it burns. So I filled it up with Orange Crush and he drank it. And that was the only one he had. Well, I went up there and I lost out 20. And then I bought back in and I was kind of up and down. I lost out 20. Well, once I put in for my 60, I was like, I'm done. Well, I lost out. So I was like, screw it. I'll watch the other guys play. For like 3 or 4 more hours, they're playing cards. Well, I just kept sipping, taking it real slow and easy, And I wasn't driving, so I wasn't really paying attention. Well, we went to leave, and I stood up, and I had to go to get in his house. You got to walk up like a step and a half.
Please tell me you fell over.
Dude, I lifted up my foot. The guy that owns the house was behind me. I lifted up my foot to go on the step, and when I pulled my one foot up, my body just went back. I did not fall over, and I didn't even need help. I caught myself. But he screamed. He's like, Randy! He's like, but I had no idea. I was sitting down. I felt fine. I wasn't trying to drink too much. But this stuff was so high in octane that when I tried to climb one step, my body went, nope. And when I realized what happened, I realized I drank almost that full jar.
Wow.
Probably
Good
80%
Lord.
of that jar. But I didn't, I was sitting there over the course of 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
That being said, though, did it come in a beige bag?
It did not. It just came in a jar.
Well,
With a
what you're
sticker on
about
it.
to have came in a beige bag, so.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I've
let's try
already
this.
kind of tasted this. Like, it has no smell to me.
I can smell it.
I'm
a little stuffed
I-
up, but
I
I can
can
smell it.
totally-
I
smell it.
like
Yeah, I can smell it.
Maybe a
Smells-
little-
It kind of smells like the
he's
Four
so
Roses
used
to
to
me.
top shelf that he's
a little bit of.
He's immune to top fridge.
top fridge. This is
It
top
has-
fridge whiskey here.
He's so American he can't even smell Canadian whiskey.
What can I say? Oh, America.
Oh man,
I mean, it's got a little bit of a caramel scent to it, but that's
it's not a strong aroma. Well,
It
coming
is
off the
very.
moonshine here, it's definitely not a strong aroma.
Oh no, no,
That
it
moonshine will clear
is.
your nostrils.
well, also being on top of a fridge, it probably baked all the alcohol out of it. so.
This is just Kool-Aid for adults at this point.
Yeah.
It has a
The
very.
Angels come and got
This
all
is-
their share.
The Royal Blenders Mash showcase.
Showcase.
I got the Martelle syndrome. Showcases the warm vanilla and subtle oaky notes of our whiskeys.
Okay, so I'm getting a slight caramel scent,
Yeah,
but
I'll
it's
say the same.
very, very minimal at best.
Oh, I've got some more info in the box. Okay, I'm going to taste it, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
We'll rate
All right,
and
let's
talk
do
about
it. It's not bad.
It's not terrible.
It's not bad. It's different. It's a totally different flavor than all the other bourbons. All the bourbons we've.
Well, I wouldn't call this a bourbon. This is absolutely a whiskey.
This is a whiskey.
Yeah.
Let me
this is a
rephrase.
Canadian
all the
whiskey.
and bourbons that we've tried so far on the show, I believe, have either been from Kentucky or the
They've-
Carolinas.
Well, they've all been from Kentucky or Carolina, other than the contradiction from Smooth Ambler is
Which
from
we just tried today.
which we just tried. Well, we had
This-
it today, which it'll be like whatever
Well-
show I mash this up into.
Okay, whatever.
Is
This
from
is a
West
completely
Virginia.
different flavor to me.
West
Yeah.
Virginia.
The back of the box says it is a
Mountain
special
Mama,
blend made with. Go ahead. I like the back of the music. Made with a mash bill of 64% corn, 32 rye,
So it's a whiskey.
and 4% malt. You got to get the malt liquor. That's why you bought it.
Yeah. I mean, pour some out for my homies.
Showcasing the warm vanilla and subtle oaky tones of our Crown Royal whiskeys. It's one of the most flavorful and complex of the 5 unique whiskey recipes that comprise the extraordinary Crown Royal signature blend.
So it's slightly ghetto.
Slightly.
Okay, okay, but okay.
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 I don't get
Okay.
this. I don't understand Canadian.
I don't either.
Listen to this and tell me how much sense this makes.
Canada.
Maybe it's just because I was reading it while
Canada.
talking. But the Canadians
Canadians.
The bananas.
aged in a combination. This was aged in a combination of new charred American oak and ex-American whiskey barrels. What's an ex-American whiskey
So
barrel?
this is American whiskey.
An
made in
ex-American. That means it's been barreled.
Canadian.
That
It's
means
like
it,
Canadian.
So if it's been barreled in American oak barrels and then ex-American
whiskey.
whiskey barrels, it means it's
So
been
it's
barreled
new-
twice.
So it's right. So it's
So
a
what
double
happened
barrel.
was they
It's
ran
a
out
double
of money,
barrel.
so they bought barrels from America.
It's a double barrel.
it's
It's
a
been
double barrel.
barreled.
So they barreled it in a new and an old whiskey barrel.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like the double. It's like the Roundhouse. It was barreled in 2014, and
right. But then put
and
the
then
new
they
barrels
re-barreled.
in. This is a new and a used barrel.
yeah,
So it's like it, but the same, but different,
which is illegal
Which
in
can-
the
but still the
U.S.
same.
Canada is the same as America,
but different.
but,
but
different.
So in the U.S., you can't reuse a whiskey barrel.
you can't.
No.
Why?
So
I thought you could.
No.
I thought, yeah, you can because there are there are different alcohols that have
So,
stuff in bourbon barrels.
You can take a whiskey barrel and take a wine and use a whiskey barrel and put a
we
wine
can
in
do
a
it for
whiskey
whiskey
barrel,
again?
but you can't reuse a whiskey barrel for a
so
whiskey.
like if Buffalo
Why?
Trace had a barrel that they did,
It's just one of the laws that you can't reuse a whiskey barrel for a whiskey, but you can
See?
reuse a whiskey barrel for
First
a wine.
you start outlawing tobacco, and then this happens. All snowballs from there.
So you can take
snowball
You girls in the Boy
Yeah.
Scouts, and you got whiskey
You
barrels
can
being
take-
regulated.
All started with tobacco.
you can take beer and put it on a whiskey barrel.
Right. There's a lot of those bourbon beers.
There's
Bourbon
bourbon barrels,
barrel-aged, yeah.
barrel aged beers and barrel aged wines and all that, barrel aged gins
crap,
and
we're
everything
screwed.
else. What they've done is they've taken a whiskey barrel from the U.S.
right.
and put
from
it in
Jack Daniels or
from
whatever.
wherever, and they've said, "Oh, we're going to take it and put this in a new barrel,
So
a
they
new white
broke
egg
the
barrel."
law of America.
Yeah, they did.
Canada.
Fucking Canada,
Jeez.
Canada.
We screwed up, guys.
Canada.
This says that we were supposed to enjoy this on the rocks or mixed into an old fashioned for a distinct experience. It
So
does
My
not
distinct
say
experience is
leave
having
this on top
this.
of a refrigerator for a few months. Take it neat.
Well, I misread the label then.
Well, it's in Canadian. That's why you couldn't read it.
Right, it was in Canadian.
It's a whole different language.
Yeah, I can't,
I can't understand that
this
shit.
crap. I had to read
Right.
that 4 times.
It says drink responsibly. I mean, that's definitely
What's that word
Canadian.
even mean?
Yeah.
That's not even in the American language.
So this is 80 proof. How much does this cost? Does anybody know?
It was a gift.
I'm gonna
free.
say it's like
I'm googling.
$29.99. It's Crown. It can't be expensive
Crown-
because
and-
it's.
But it's not
No,
just
it's
Crown
more than that. I'm gonna
Royal.
guess 30
It's Blender's Mash.
This is $35.99 is my
So
guess.
it's American Crown.
it's American Crown.
Because they use
American
American
Canadian
barrels.
Crown.
They use illegal American barrels.
American barrels.
That's what happens when you outlaw stuff. They stay in Canada. Get your cigarettes from Canada, Hawaii.
Right.
This is where people are going to get their pharmacies.
Pharmacies.
Yeah, they're going up to Canada to get their pharmacies.
It's called Blender's Mash.
Speaking of, there's a medication that I have to take.
Cocaine.
I wish. It costs, every time I go down to the pharmacy, now it doesn't cost me this, but because I have a coupon,
Whoa.
He has a coupon.
$320.
What? That's after the coupon?
That's after the that's
cheaper
that's
to die.
before the
you need
coupon.
a better coupon.
That's a before the coupon. Before the coupon, it's $320. So it's a neurological medication for my migraines that I take daily. It is $320
It'll be
before the
way
coupon.
cheaper.
After the coupon, it's free.
It'd be way
Oh, okay.
cheaper to do
That's a
leeches
good
about
coupon.
it.
Holy shit!
Yeah, 100% off. Why don't
Yeah.
you
It's
have
100%
somebody drill
off.
a hole in your head and let out the pressure and the spirits?
That's called a
Right.
lobotomy.
No,
And I
just
can
drill
do-
a hole. I'm not trying
If
to
you drill a
disconnect
hole,
anything.
let the devil out.
Just let
you
the
know?
pressure out.
Dude, if I let the devil out, I wouldn't exist. And then we wouldn't have a
It'd be
podcast.
a
Well,
hollow shell.
we'll just start a podcast then.
Yeah.
It's already a hollow shell. It's head. What are you talking about?
I mean,
Got nothing in there.
there's nothing. It's black.
Martell is like, in his brain, he's got like 4% car knowledge, 4% whatever he does at work knowledge, and the rest is bourbon knowledge. That's about it.
No. It's the other way around. It's 4% bourbon knowledge, 4% car knowledge, and the rest is work knowledge because that's
You must
what
be
I'll-
awesome there because you suck everywhere else.
Yeah,
You weebelows everywhere else.
Weeblos.
pretty much. You know how much I saved the state of New York?
No. Why would I know
Nothing.
that? Nothing.
Right.
Weird coincidence. I did the very same thing at work. I saved New York.
I haven't
nothing.
saved New York a penny.
All right,
I could
how
probably
much-
do your job.
How,
One of our
what's that job
clients.
pay?
Yeah. How much
I
do you
could
get
definitely
paid?
get paid to not save New York a dime.
Well, it's one of our clients in the state of New York.
How much
Well,
did you say this cost?
$29.99.
What do you think, Jimmy?
It's
I'll go with
Crown. It's mass
24.
produced.
$24.99.
I was going to say 99 too, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you. I was trying, but now here's what's interesting.
It's mass produced.
Crown
It
Royal has
can't
a
be that much.
13-year version of this. Old Blender's
Wait, what?
Mash. 13-year Old Blender's Mash. For
Well, see,
$69.99.
They did a
I wonder if it's like
bourbon mash
the
version
climax.
of this. So Crown did like a bourbon mash version that got horrible reviews from the bourbon experts.
Yeah, but a lot of the ones I love get horrible reviews. And
Well,
the ones that they love, I'm like, yeah, it's good.
The same
but
thing
it's not
with
worth
wine, too.
$90. Yeah, it's,
Like
this isn't
I don't trust
terrible.
online
The
reviews.
good wines get terrible reviews. And
Yeah,
the terrible
one that
wines,
you love that costs $6.99 a bottle.
Yeah.
You're like, this is really good. I
Like-
can drink this with a good steak. Have it with my, nice
Right,
dinner with my
yeah.
wife. They'll give it like 1 star, and then you get one of their ones you pay like $120
And you're like, this is
for wine,
terrible.
and you know.
This
it's
is not
awful.
terrible. Like, I'm not a huge Crown fan. This is not terrible.
I
Like,
actually
gi-
like this.
I give it to. I think I give it 2.5 star.
We
2.5
haven't, have
stars.
we done this?
We haven't donuted
Donuts.
it.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I
we have
give it
donuts.
2.5 donuts.
Okay.
It's not terrible. It's not something I'm going to go out and buy because I'm not a Crown fan.
Well,
like,
but
I'm
here's
not.
the thing too: for $25, you're getting Wellers.
Right. I'm
Wellers,
for.
Wellers is still like
It's yeah.
for the mid-20 range.
Absolutely.
I have yet
I'm
to
still-
find anything come close to Wellers.
No. I mean, it
I
as a
need to-
gift.
I need to have some Wellers. I've never had it.
We need you on the podcast more,
Oh, we're gonna have to get.
dude. They sell Wellers.
We'll
in
work on
big
that, Jimmy.
bottles.
Martelle, I've got you, bro.
I got you,
Maybe
bro.
just a Saturday a month we'll come out and podcast here.
That'd be cool.
we should
I'm
do
working
this.
on that as well.
Well, that's a different podcast.
It is, but
I'm not part of a fitness.
Come on,
Well-
we need somebody who's opposite of that.
You know what? It's going to turn into SNL, and I'm Chris Farley. I mean, it's just
when are you gonna kill yourself?
whoa.
Ever.
Oh,
Never.
did I say that out
Touche.
loud?
He did not kill himself.
Never.
All the drugs he did killed himself.
Oh, okay. When are you gonna do a bunch of drugs?
So here's the thing with Chris Farley. He's one of those guys growing up I kind of like aspired to be because when I was like 5th, 6th grade.
All right, Jim Belushi.
You wanted to be the guy down by the river
Right. And I figured, well, I've got
In a
that kind
van?
of budget.
in a van.
Well, I couldn't afford the van, but I'd be a tent down by the river in a shanty to lean to. No, but like growing up, you watch this. He's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody loves him.
Right.
Everything that he did, he elevated everybody around him. And
He's
when he
probably
died,
still one of my favorite actors of all
hands
time.
down.
Absolutely.
And when he passed away, it was one of the first times that a celebrity died that I actually went, "Oh, that sucks."
Yeah.
Like most times, celebrity died, you're like, "I didn't know him."
Yeah.
I've had distant relatives die, and I went, "Why are we going to the funeral?" Like I'd never met them before, So,
You mean like the Kentucky funeral?
dude, that was a good one.
God damn, it was such a
That
good
was such a great
episode.
story. But exactly, I've had so many people in my life pass away. Like when my grandma passed away, when my grandpa passed away, it crushed me. Everybody else in my life up to that point, it's been like that's part of life. She had cancer for so many years, like we saw it coming, and I've always felt like I always question like, am I a serial killer? Because I don't feel like you see people
Pretty
bawling,
much.
you see people go into depression for 6 months. And I never, like, it was sad, but I never really had this huge reaction. So when celebrities die, I was always like, oh, that sucks. There won't be any more movies.
Yeah.
When Chris Farley died, I was like, oh, like I did it.
Think
like,
about
ruin
all
my
the
day,
things he
but-
could have done today.
Yeah, he was such a cool guy, and all that. But when he died, like I always said David Spade was nothing without him until David Spade did Joe Dirt. That was the first time he made me laugh
Yeah.
without Chris Farley. And
But do you think that he learned a lot from
Absolutely.
Chris Farley?
hands down? And that's somebody he didn't even go to Farley's funeral.
Really?
Yeah, he was quoted as saying, "I can't stand to see Chris in a box." That's
Oh,
not,
yeah.
Like,
Okay,
he,
that
he
makes
was
sense,
he was
but-
he was bigger than life. He was this personality, but being the fat kid growing up, I kind of related to it as in people didn't know what he was dealing with on the inside.
Yeah.
People saw Chris on screen and hanging out with them, but they didn't know what demons he was battling. And when he died, I was very young, still a young teenager, and I was kind of like, man, that sucks because
Yeah.
I found out at that watching him, and especially in 6th grade, that's when I really started getting a lot of fights. Mom and Dad looked to move out of Columbus because I was in a rough neighborhood getting a lot of crap.
You were living on the west side.
And the
West
lower
side.
west side, the poor west side, the inner city west side, not Hilliard or Dublin.
Yeah, like
And,
you
yeah.
were living on Hilltop.
And well, we were below Hilltop, and then we moved down.
Oh no,
They were in
you
the
don't
valley.
live below Hilltop. You are either on the Hilltop or you're not on
Well,
Hilltop.
we were on Clarendon Avenue south of Sullivan, and then we moved down to Riverbend. But I was getting in a lot of fights in school and stuff, and I realized though, like none of the girls wanted to date me, even though I was decent at baseball and little league. That didn't make me the cute star athlete. I wasn't the stud quarterback. But if I could make people laugh, I'd have friends. People don't care what you look like or who you are if you can make them laugh. Because everybody wants that release. Everybody wants to have fun. So I was like, well, if I can make people laugh, then I'm good. So I kind of looked, Farley. You look at Farley in person. If you saw that dude walking down the street and he wasn't Chris Farley, you don't give that guy a second look.
Yeah.
You
I see your point.
You see his butt crack sticking out, and he's just kind of waddling in to pay for his gas. You don't think anything of that guy. Think, man, that guy's a fat slob. Look, even in Chris Farley's roles, he looks like a fat slob, but he's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he was so full of life and had such a great personality. that people wanted to be around him, and I kind of went, oh, I don't have to be Joe Sixpack as long as I can. Now I should lose.
It's got to be
again.
Joe Funny,
right? If I can be Joe Funny, or Joe Camel, because smoking was cool back then, and make people laugh.
Taking it all the way back to the beginning
when
of
he
the
died.
podcast.
That's right.
Exact, dude, I do that all the time.
Back to like three
Tie
episodes
it back
ago.
in, yeah, 3 episodes ago now. Tie it back in, but yeah, it was, when Farley died, I was like, man, it sucks, and it was something I just kind of thought about. I wasn't depressed, I wasn't sad, but he was one of the guys that died. Like Heath Ledger's another one. Heath Ledger passed away.
Heath Ledger was tough too.
It was Heath Ledger was a big one for me. Robin Williams was a big one for me.
Robin Williams,
Mitch Hedburg.
Hedburg.
Yeah,
see,
Mitch,
here's the thing with Hedburg.
Yeah, he was a good comedian.
I didn't catch Hedburg until after he passed. I didn't know of him, which I don't know what that says about me.
Or not.
But I love Mitch Hedberg now, but I didn't know who he was before he died.
His humor is
he's
exactly what I need.
Yeah,
It's just dry and straight to the point.
Well, his one-liners. He could say a sentence.
It was his
and you'd
one-liners.
lose it.
Yeah.
He could do an entire
is the
show of
king
one-liners.
of one-liners.
And be amazing.
And but these people that seem so like they've got everything. You know, they're in movies or on Saturday Night Live or they're they seem to have it all, and then you find out they died. You're like, well, now I feel like because I haven't reached. I'm not a star.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're not. This podcast ain't going anywhere.
This podcast ain't going to crap. I've made.
Now listen.
I've made thousands of dozens of dollars playing music. I'm not a rock star.
Thousands of dozens of dollars.
I never did make it to play for the Cincinnati Reds like I thought I would. That's why I quit. Didn't do Boy Scouts. I wanted to focus more on baseball. Never made it to play for the Reds, which is fine because they suck now. I was on TV once. That got me here. Like so. But when I look at these people that are like John Candy and Chris Farley and stuff, I look at them and I'm like,
I'm looking at some of the stuff. So you posted the picture
of us.
I
haven't checked Facebook since then.
I'm just looking at it now, and our buddy Andy was like, "Fuck Jeff, huh?" Jeff responded with "Ouch," and my response was, "We're still recording."
Come on by. This is gonna be a 9-week episode. I got to be in Columbus in an hour and 45 minutes, and I still got to go back home and get my stuff.
I'm thinking we should all have one more shot of the first whiskey we had.
That's Jimmy's way of saying Martelle brought good stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody wants what we have.
I've got some.
You mean nobody wants another warmed up?
Actually,
Linders?
that wasn't bad. I could do that. But my thing is, when Farley died, it hurt me. Just about 3 months ago, I really started looking into his death. Now, I knew the story. I knew that he'd been partying for like 2 days straight. Yeah. The hooker that he was with, I'm sorry, female escort.
Right.
She was tired. Like, I've got to go home and go to bed.
About this.
And right after all we've said about the different races and the boys and girls and transgender scouts, let's be PC about hookers.
Well, yeah, come on now,
the lady of the evening,
yes,
escort that he was with was like, I've been partying with you for like 26 hours. I've got to go. I'm so tired. And he begged her, don't leave me. Don't leave me. Like his last words were to a prostitute, basically.
Yeah.
No offense to that professional escort who was paid,
right.
only paid for her presence.
She has to make money too.
My thing is, like, this dude was battling so many demons, so much bullcrap that he had to pay somebody to be with him during his last moment.
And the thing that sucks is that, like, everybody would want to be with Chris Farley.
That's the thing, though. It's like, and it all circles back to when I talk with others, when I get into online disagreements. I don't call them arguments because I never get mad. And I hope they don't. Which I know some people dislike me, and I know I'm very opinionated.
You can get into an argument without getting upset.
You can.
Absolutely.
Not everybody can.
I can. Society should be.
Well, you and I, we opened with a disagreement on the smoking thing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
We even sat down before recording and went, yeah, it's not going to be heated. Like,
I know.
We're like, friends. We're totally cool. But my thing is, when Farley died, it hit me just about 3 to 4 months ago, maybe.
Mm.
I saw something that was like these celebrities that died too soon. Well, then Farley was on the list, and I really started looking at his death, and then I found his death photos.
Oh yeah, they're terrible.
And when I found the photos of him,
they're awful.
It's burnt in my memory, and it crushed me to a different level.
Well, think about the Phil Hartman.
Well,
you've got the Farley ones, but think about the Phil Hartman ones as well. Like,
yeah, but Hartman
was a murder suicide as opposed to an overdose.
Here's the thing with Hartman, though. I didn't have a connection to Hartman.
I loved Phil Hartman.
I listened to the last podcast on the left. I've got an A to C encyclopedia of serial killers. The human psyche, the sociology, the psychological standpoint has always fascinated me. The story of Phineas Gage, who was a brilliant man until a railroad spike got launched through his skull and disconnected part of his brain, and then he went, oh, you don't know that story?
No.
Fascinates me. This dude was one of the brightest guys ever, working on a railroad. They used to take these pikes and drive down TNT to blow up mountains and all this. Long story short, it got shot up under his chin, came out top of his head. He lived.
How do you live through that?
Problem is, a disconnected part of his brain, like the frontal lobe or something, and he just became.
I'm going to disconnect part of your brain.
Well, you'd have to connect part first to disconnect it. but what I'm saying is, like, so psychology and sociology has always fascinated me.
Yeah.
So when I look at somebody like Chris Farley, now I know with the depression and the stuff I dealt with growing up, I know the crap that I went through, and I'm not going to share it all on a podcast. But I went through some dark places. Not the darkest. I haven't had the worst life. My parents have always been loving. They're still together. Neither one of them beat me if I didn't deserve it. I got punished physically, but I wasn't beat, not what I would consider beat. I've had a good home life, but I went through some serious dark depression and feelings of inadequacy. So when I see somebody go through that, I went, that's what I could have evolved into.
And the crazy thing is,
when you've got the whole world, but then feeling like you have nothing to live for.
But somebody like Chris Farley, like so many people loved him.
Yeah. But he didn't feel it at all.
Felt.
He never felt
And Robin
loved.
Williams.
Well, no,
is another case of the same thing.
He compared himself to Jim Belushi. Like Jim Belushi was his guy.
Hero.
Like that was his hero. That was his man. Like he always tried to be. He compared himself to him. Like that's what he had to aspire to. And when you try to aspire to somebody who has the issues that Jim Belushi had, you're gonna. I mean, ultimately, you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of other people that we don't even know of have looked up to those same celebrities and have gone through the same stuff, have committed suicide, have overdosed, whatever the case may be, because of that. Yeah. Because they see it from that standpoint. And I guess with Farley and Ledger are probably the two that have hurt me the most, which is funny because you'd think a musician would. I'm more into music than anything. I got a concert tonight, as a matter of fact. you know, that's why I got to run home, grab my bass, get up to Columbus.
Is that ready. The one that just popped up as like concert everything or something like that?
Yeah, I was like, we're having a concert thing or something.
Yeah,
here's the thing. We're playing at my parents' church, but it's very much an open. We're playing Imagine Dragons, Garth Brooks,
nice.
Justin Timberlake.
I've seen Imagine Dragons live.
Yeah, like playing stuff we like. So but yeah, we're having fun tonight.
You like Justin Bieber?
I would definitely make him the girl in the relationship. But yeah, with celebrities and their deaths, none of them really ever affect me. Like Amy Winehouse, she died, and everybody was like, "Oh no," and I was like, "Really?"
That had no effect on my life. Whitney Houston died, and
everybody's like, "Oh, we lost the trash." I'm like, "But
she was a great talent." You know what I mean?
A phenomenal talent.
But she didn't hit me as hard as like Chris Farley or even Robin Williams. Like,
you know, one really, really, really hurt me but besides Heath Ledger was Paul Walker.
Yeah,
and here's the reason.
He seemed like
what
a really
Paul Walker
good guy.
did behind the scenes, the philanthropy, the charity work he did.
Yeah,
where it's like Keanu Reeves.
Well, even
Keanu Reeves tries so hard to do so much charity work and not get it publicized. Yeah. That's somebody I respect. When he dies, the world's going to lose a great dude that understands I'm a celebrity, and I have tons of cash and all this status.
Not to mention these coming out with Bill and Ted's.
I know this.
Well, yes, Paul Walker even had a Columbus connection.
He did?
Paul Walker did?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The Porsche that he was driving was owned by...
he was riding in it.
Or riding in is owned by the race... Why is it slipping me now? Shit.
Google.
The race... The family...
Okay, Google, what's Martelle trying to say?
Yeah, I know. God damn, it's the family that lives here in Columbus that owns the race. The Letterman...
Dave Letterman?
Wow, he's from Columbus?
No.
I didn't know he was a racer either.
Letterman co-owns a race company with another family.
What you're talking about.
Shit.
Either way, look that up.
I'll look that up.
His death affected me just because what he did off camera.
Damn it! It's Ray Hall. Ray Hall. Bobby Ray Hall's son owned that Porsche. The Porsche
he died in?
That he died in. Bobby Ray Hall's son used to own that Porsche.
He used to own it. Well, that's not a connection.
That is a connection.
I bought a used car. That doesn't mean I'm connected to the person that bought it. I owned it before.
You're not selling a Carrera GT to somebody. without knowing who you're selling it to.
I mean, I guess, but okay.
A Carrera GT,
technically, but it's not like
a Carrera. No.
Or they were rolling together.
A Carrera GT.
Right.
No, I'm not talking about
when you
911.
Sell to somebody else, you're not connected to that person aside from the sell itself.
Well, if
you sold me a pair of your underwear and I didn't know you before or after, that's the only
you want a pair of my underwear. We're talking about two
different
things. We're talking about something completely different.
All I've gotten so far is that Randy has bought Martelle's underwear.
No, we're good friends.
Right.
I don't pay for him.
Well, I just give him.
Even better.
I just
we record at his house, right? I just take him when he's not looking.
Oh,
I kind of give them to him because I'm giving him.
It's a charity thing.
Right.
Catch the mic.
This is why you can't stand a podcast for 3 hours.
Right. So I'm getting rid of all my Hanes for Tommy Johns.
Why?
Because Tommy Johns are better.
Okay, that's a good.
Are Tommy Johns more expensive or less expensive?
Way more expensive.
I'll
hard
stick
pass.
With my Hanes.
I think I got Fruit of the Looms from Walmart. I'm not even.
I may not even have them on because I can't afford them.
But they hold my balls in place.
Under what?
Under my jeans. But
wow, this conversation.
Secret advertisement for Tommy John underwear. Go buy them. We're not sponsored by them.
We promote so many businesses that give us nothing in return.
You should reach out. You should send them a copy of this
and be like,
"Listen,
hey, Tommy John,
we won't air this until you sponsor us."
Mom, I apologize in advance for saying a dirty word, but we have got a shout out from Two Bitch Bourbon.
Yeah,
Two Bitch. God damn it, I love Two Bitch Bourbon. Like
what are
everything. So they are a bourbon company out of.
It's just a virgin.
Virgin company. They are a distillery out of.
That's before they become a bourbon.
Right.
They're
virgins.
Before you taste bourbon, you're a virgin.
You're a virgin.
Oh, I got a new submission for Urban Dictionary.
Can I coin that?
That's an Urban Dictionary thing.
All right.
So Two Bitch Bourbon is out of Eureka, Nevada. They are like, so they're 1 and 2 with Virgil Caine with me. So Two Bitch and Virgil Caine.
So it's an actual type of bourbon.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
It's not just a company that produces different bourbons.
No, yeah, it's a company that
it is the distillery out of
they're
Eureka.
A distillery.
Yeah,
that's what I should say.
They're in Eureka, Nevada. Excellent bourbon out of Eureka, Nevada.
They've given us a couple shout outs
for the love of dogs.
Absolutely. They, I think her name is Lauren.
I've still not had any.
Lauren Luby. No, I'm withholding it from you.
I hate it when you hold out on me.
I know. I've got 2 bottles. Some? I have 2 bottles at home. I've got Pack Leader Reserve, which is a 9-year bourbon, and I have just their standard, just run of the mill. I can't get a bottle of Eureka Gold. When Shannon, one of our members, one of our fantastic members here at the gym.
She travels everywhere.
Every time she's out in Nevada, I'm like, hey, can you or Brian pick me up a bottle of this? She does. I mean, without a doubt, she picks it up. Oh, yeah. I send her whatever I need to pick me up, to buy me a bottle.
Mash Imaging, that's another company that we can
Mash Imaging, sponsor. Yeah, absolutely. I send her money to buy me a bottle, and that is the only way that I have ever gotten it is whenever she's out in Vegas, because it's only available.
They're there a lot.
Yeah, it's only available in Nevada, Vegas, because that's Nevada is only Vegas to me, or California. Fantastic bourbon. Or Virgil Caine. Like those are my top 2. Like they're legitimately right there. Pack Leader Reserve. Randy, I haven't let Randy have either bottle because I have such a limited. I know.
You need some more of this moonshine.
I have such a limited amount of it
that
I don't drink it that much myself.
Well, yeah, and I
that's
don't,
the problem.
The thing too. It's funny because I was messaging somebody that mentioned bourbon on Instagram, and I was like, I didn't know you drink bourbon. And they said, I don't. Well, I guess I can say she now. I'm still going to say a name. She said, and this one I really won't. She said, I don't, but my husband's really into it. I prefer different beers and wines. Fair enough. What's your husband enjoy? I don't know. I can send you his whole beer cart or a bourbon cart. And she was like, well, I meant to say I could send you a picture of his bourbon cart. I said, no. You said you're sending me his bourbon cart. Send it, and we're going to review it.
Yeah,
And
send it over.
she was like, oh, he's got so many. I was like, no, trust me. I know somebody who has more. Because Martelle's bourbon cart is a cabinet.
It's a bourbon room.
Yeah, my
be.
cart, like what I actually physically own versus my cart.
Yeah.
My cart, like, way outextends what I physically own.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you've got bourbon. Well, you've got different liquors in your pantry. Even said like the lesser.
Oh,
bourbon
I
stuff.
have a cabinet, and then I have bourbon in my pantry.
But-
I have shit that doesn't fit in my
Like,
in
do
my
you
pantry.
have
a curio cabinet of
Top
bourbon.
refrigerator bourbon.
I don't have refrigerator.
You
bourbon.
don't either. You have
Crown
you have
Royal
top
Grinder's Mash
whiskey.
is a top refrigerator bourbon. Do you have that?
I
It's not a
don't
bourbon,
have
it's
that.
a whiskey.
So
That is a
Martell
whiskey,
really
though.
An
I also-
actual whiskey connoisseur?
No,
or?
he's a bourbon connoisseur.
I'm a
You know what I just realized too is they spell
Spirits.
whiskey like the Irishmen do
with a Y
Well, that's
instead
good
of
because I'm
EY.
Irish.
instead of EY. Yeah.
Well,
You are.
EY. So
That's why
I've
your
actually
name's
looked that
Jamiel.
up.
Yeah.
Jamie's a family name.
There's a difference in the spelling, and it all depends on where you're from.
Yeah. I looked it up too. I did a whole research thing on
So
it because I
what's
figured
the
if I'm going to
difference?
talk
There's
about it, I
an
should know
E
something.
or there's not an E, right?
Well, whiskey, traditional American whiskey spelled WHISKEY.
EY.
That's your Canadian whiskey or your Kentucky whiskey, Tennessee whiskey. You'll always see with the EY. When you get to
EY.
the Irish, the Canadian, a lot of
It's
the other
just a
places,
Y.
Just a
just
Y.
the Y, no E. So the EY is predominantly, as far as I've
It's an
seen,
American
it's an American thing.
Yeah.
So I don't
Key.
know, it's the same thing.
Whiskey.
Key
Yeah,
or
it's-
whiskey.
Instead of a whiskey.
Whiskey.
It's either whiskey,
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
or
Yeah,
whiskey.
take a whiskey.
Whiskey.
So,
Whiskey.
I'm getting back into the swamp tongue. The donkey.
but
full circle.
back to
I'm
the
sure
two
we've
bitch.
had a lot of whiskey so far.
So back to the two bitch. Like I believe her name is Lauren Lube,
Is that
Luby. Luby.
and I have talked to the Lubies around here, and they are not related.
No.
I was slightly disappointed.
weird
thought
that
only-
people
I was like-
across
I
the
was like-
country aren't related?
I was like- I was
sure
looking
there
for that
only
connection.
One Luby.
I was looking for that connection. There are
It is a fairly rare name, but
Martelle is a fairly rare name, and there is a Martelle on the there. There used to be a Martelle on the Ohio State hockey team. We are not related.
There was a Martell on the Ohio State team.
The Ohio State hockey team. Yes.
No,
There was a-
football team.
No, his
Yeah.
name was.
His name was Martell.
But
He
it,
was a
it,
quarterback.
it wasn't
Tate Martell,
spelled.
he
Martell.
just transferred.
He
It wasn't
just
spelled the
transferred
same.
over.
Yeah, it was.
Martelle.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Tate Martell.
He
Martelli.
was, he was your long lost
Martelli, you a
brother.
story.
No, we were not. We were
There's
not
also
related,
a
trust me.
Martell on the.
He's still
on-
in college though.
There's also a Martell on the team, the quarterback in the replacements.
Usually-
Keanu Reeves replaced.
Really?
The guy
So-
that Keanu Reeves took the place of as
Okay.
a stab quarterback. His name is Martell.
So in most
Every time I watch
cases-
it, I think of this guy.
So-
Except he can't throw a football.
Right.
I can. You've never seen me throw a football.
Yeah, you throw like a girl.
He can throw a round football, also known as a baseball.
So in most
Also
cases,
known as a
anybody,
squash. A pumpkin.
anybody that has the spelling of Martell, LL, or LLE is related
We're all
if you track
frickin'
it
related.
back.
That'd be a
Nah,
round
you go back
no,
far
no,
enough. It could be.
Martelle.
LLE. But anybody that is LLE,
LLE.
we are all related in some fashion if you just
Well,
track
yeah,
it back.
that's
far
like
enough.
every Nelson's related at some point, but that doesn't mean me and Willie Nelson are BFFs.
Right,
But-
everybody in Nelsonville's related.
Well, everybody
Well,
in
that's
Nelsonville,
true.
that's just called
They're not
incest.
related to me, but yeah, everybody in Nelsonville probably is related.
That's just called incest.
Let's be honest. Everything south of I-70 is just north of Kentucky or northwest Virginia. We're in southern Ohio, boys. We're in the thick of it.
But well, I'm not from this
I mean, there's
area.
a moonshine still like 5 miles from here that I know of.
Well,
We're in the thick of it.
so but we're all the same descendant from
Adam and Eve.
no, a guy named
Not
Charles,
Adam and Steve.
not Adam and Steve,
Adam and Steve.
a guy named Charles Martelle from the south of France.